Hi, everyone. This is Carrie, and we had recently followed the sentencing of Aiden Fucci. He is the teenager that had unalived Tristan Bailey, who is shown here in this picture. She was only 13 years old when her life was taken tragically by the hands of Aiden Fucci. His mother, Crystal Smith, was accused of tampering with evidence. Here's the video that was taken from her own home camera footage that shows that she had the genes and she was doing her best to wash out any kind of evidence that was there. Now, her son Aiden, he's already been tried. He pled guilty. Uh, troubled kid. You guys, I encourage you, if you have not watched this piece, to go back. I want to say there's probably 3 to 5 videos that I did on his plea, so you go back and watch that. Just kind of get for yourself familiar with it. Crystal Smith, his mother, was back in court this week due to this tampering with evidence case, and she pled out. So she spent Mother's Day in lockup.
If you'll come forward as well. Ms. Dunn, you just heard Mr. Katurga state the terms of the plea agreement is that the plea agreement that the state has negotiated with Ms. Smith.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I see that the Bailey family are all present, as well as some other friends and family members. Are they also in agreement with this disposition? Are they requesting for the court to accept this proposed disposition?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state your name.
Crystal Smith,
How old are you?
38.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated high school.
Are you able to read, write, speak, and understand the English language?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental health condition that might affect your ability to understand what's happening right now?
No, Your Honor.
Your attorney has informed me that you wish to change your previously entered plea of not guilty and enter a plea of no contest to the charge of tampering with evidence. That is a third-degree felony which is punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Pursuant to the plea agreement, I would adjudicate you guilty of that offense, place you on 5 years of probation with the condition that you serve 30 days in the St. Johns County Jail. You have credit for 1 day that you've already served. You may apply for early termination of your probation after 3 years have been served. You would also be required to pay standard court costs and fines plus $100 cost of investigation and $100 cost of prosecution. Is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Statement of factual basis, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about May 9th, 2021, in the County of St. Johns in the state of Florida, the defendant did alter, destroy, conceal, or remove any record, document, or thing, to wit, a pair of jeans, with the purpose to impair its verity or availability in a proceeding or investigation, knowing that a criminal trial, proceeding, or investigation by a duly constituted law enforcement agency of this state was pending or was about to be instituted, contrary to court statute.
Any objections or exceptions to the factual basis?
No objections or exceptions for purposes of the plea, Your Honor.
I do find sufficient factual basis for the charge of tampering with evidence. Ms. Smith, I accept your plea. I find it's entered into freely, voluntarily, and intelligently, that you are coherent and alert, and that you understand the nature of the charge and the consequences of your plea. Before I impose sentence, are there any victim impact statements that will be presented today?
There is one, Your Honor. I also have the, do you want the score sheet now or later?
Yes. Please.
Yes, Miss Stacy Bailey.
All right, Ms. Bailey, if you want to come forward, you want her to come on up here?
Yeah, just so she can check it.
I'm going to move that stuff off.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have gone over this moment in my head for more than 2 years now. What would I say to the woman who broke the law and caused so much pain to my family? Would my words be ignored, or would they carry weight? Would you truly hear me and understand how your actions have devastated not only my family, our kids' classmates, our family friends, our community, and the people across the world. Do you see the hurt that it has caused on your extended family? Would you ever be able to understand the devastating pain we live through daily? I may never know the answers, but this is my one chance for Sylvie. The irreparable damage that you have caused by your actions will forever be etched into our lives. I have tried to put myself in your shoes on that fateful day, 1,000 times, but I can't. I can never get there because you see, I could never put someone else's child in harm's way for my own, no matter the consequences. The choices that you make on Mother's Day, May 9, 2021, will haunt me for the rest of my life. I question whether you grieve the devastating murder of our daughter Tristan by your son Aiden Fucci, or if you just grieve him being caught and held accountable. What I cannot understand is how you knew our child was missing. Your son was the last known person to see her, and yet you see something suspicious on his jeans and try to wash it out. All the while, you did not know if our daughter was injured or even alive, but you did nothing to help. When so many people gave up their Mother's Day to try to help, you abandoned your son to wash the jeans. Then, to make matters worse, you try to convince Aiden in the police station later that evening that he was wearing different clothes, to find a story and stick to it. At what point did you ever stop and think about Tristan's well-being? You have never apologized for your actions. As for your statement that you and your family's lives have been threatened, you have no idea what my family has endured. Where was your concern for all of the children in our community that had their innocence stolen? The daily heartbreak, the constant tears have taken a toll on the well-being of each of us. Our family's lives have been forever altered. I carry worry for my children that a mother cannot fix on how they weather the storm. How do I help them? I cannot. All I can do is pick them up when they fall with love and encouragement and teach them about being a good person to the core. Crystal, no one can make you a good, honest person. Only you can do that. I do have hope from the words of your mother that you are a good person and you can take this time to get back on track. I will pray that your children will learn from your mistakes and receive no ill from your actions. I will also pray that you will reflect upon your actions while you are without your children on this Mother's Day. Even today, I am concerned about you. In the eyes of the law, your plea of no contest and the following adjudication of guilt are the same. Yet as an individual, admitting your wrongdoings is a step in moving forward. The world has seen the evidence of you washing the jeans and checking them with a family member you called you out on the tampering with the evidence. They have seen the video of you coaching Aiden to lie. I hope and pray that you will be able to fully admit your guilt one day and truly be sorry for your actions and the pain that you have inflicted upon our family and our community. Thank you for all of your time in this case.
Any additional statements to be read?
No, Your Honor.
All right, anything from the defense?
Your Honor, Ms. Smith has elected to enter her plea because she believes it's in her best interest to do so. In so doing, she wishes to express her deepest sympathy to the Bailey family, as the suffering they are experiencing from the loss of Tristan is unimaginable. Ms. Smith is grieving in her own right, as her son has been held responsible for Tristan's murder and is now spending the rest of his life in prison. This tragedy has had a devastating effect on everyone involved. The Bailey family has suffered the greatest loss, and they are not alone in their suffering. Ms. Smith has entered her plea to bring an end to the legal proceedings surrounding the murder of Tristan Bailey. Ms. Smith hopes that everyone involved can now begin to heal from this tragedy. I would like to set forth that at the time of the conduct giving rise to this prosecution and resulting plea, no one, with the exception of one person, knew what had happened to Tristan. Certainly Ms. Smith did not know what had occurred. She was a frantic mother trying to determine what was going on with her son. Only later was she made aware of the horrible crime that had been committed. She apologizes for any additional suffering her conduct caused the Bailey family. I hope the end of these legal proceedings surrounding Tristan's death will allow everyone impacted by it to begin to find a modicum of peace and begin to try to heal from this tragedy.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
Is there any legal reason why this court cannot impose sentence at this time?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Smith, having entered a plea to the charge of tampering with evidence, I adjudicate you guilty. I sentence you to serve 5 years of probation with the following special condition. You must serve 30 days in the St. Johns County Jail. You have credit for 1 day that you've already served. You would be eligible for application of early termination only upon after completion of 3 years of your probation, and as long as there have not been any violations and you have paid the standard court costs and fines plus $100 cost of investigation and $100 cost of prosecution to the state attorney's office. I believe that covers everything. You have 30 days to appeal the legality of this court sentence. If you wish to appeal but cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. This time, the bailiffs will take you into custody and bring you over to the St. Johns County Jail.
They gave her 30 days in jail. I think she only got like 1 day time served. And then she has probation, a 5-year probation, which could be shortened after 3 years. If she had not pled out, she could have gotten up to a year in prison. What's really the saddest part in all this, the silence in Tristan's family as they sat there and watched, because this was it. This was the closure of justice for them. All there in their aqua representing Tristan, who could not represent herself, and watching them walk out of the courtroom. And it was as if her dad wanted to make sure he was the last one who walked out. Everyone was sullen. It was very just the atmosphere on that side of the courtroom. I don't know. I can't say that it was relief. I don't know how to explain it. It seemed like, okay, it's over. Well, that was it. It's sad because now it's done. This is it. No more. No more court for them. On this day, their life without Tristan and having justice for her death now starts. And it's one of those things where you're just like, and where do you go from here? Because at the end of the day, they're not going to be getting the attention that they were getting before from all of this. Their life is going to change drastically because it's going to go quiet. And I feel like they probably are going to go through a time period where they feel like everybody went back to normal. Please keep this family in your prayers. Keep the Fucci family in your prayers. So this closes things out on my side, guys. This is it. This is the end of this case for us. I want to thank everybody that watched when we were doing the sentencing. I want to thank everybody that's watched now and then it's going to go back and watch the other stuff. And if you like what we're doing here on our channel, please hit like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Just one quick like, it really does do a lot for my channel. So, and helps people find this case because in my opinion, it just wasn't talked about enough. All right. You guys have a blessed evening. Stay safe, and I will talk to you soon.